In this episode, we're summarizing the 6th episode from Season 5 of the Wire series titled The Dickensian Aspect. The episode first aired on February 10th, 2008. In the beginning, a body is being removed from Monk's apartment building. Omar Little miraculously survives a 4-story jump from an apartment balcony in the previous episode when he escaped from Snoop and Chris. The Stanfield organization, led by Marlo, is now shocked as they continue searching for Omar. Chris and Savino comb buildings searching for him. Monk even impersonates a police officer to gather information on his whereabouts, and Snoop checks hospitals, posing as Omar's sister, but they are not successful. In another scene, at a New Day co-op meeting, Fatface Rick and Phil Boy speculate that whoever controls Proposition Joe's drug supply connection is likely responsible for his murder. Inside, Marlo takes charge, admitting indirect responsibility for the deaths of Proposition Joe and Hungry Man by blaming Omar for the killings, claiming he provoked Omar's actions. To intensify the hunt, Marlo doubles the bounty on Omar to $100,000 for information and $250,000 for his death. He asserts control over the co-op, announcing he now holds Joe's supply connection and will conduct future dealings directly, disbanding the group meetings entirely. Marlo assigns Monk to supply the west side, Cheese to supply the east side. He also raises the price per kilo by $30,000, consolidating all of the power to himself. Meanwhile, Chris and Snoop hide from Omar, with Chris visibly agitated, throwing a knife onto the floor. Snoop suggests buying toys for his children to calm him down, but Chris, aware of Omar's threats to his family, remains tense, recalling how they located Omar's associate, Butchie. This underscores the psychological toll that they are all facing now that they are searching for Omar, just like he is searching for them. In another scene, we see Omar is hiding out in the maintenance room of Monk's apartment building as he tends to his severely injured leg. He crafts a crutch from a broom handle and limps away in pain. His resilience is clear as ever, especially now that he has a vendetta against Marlo for personal reasons. At Boots' bail bonds, we see Omar ambush Fatface Rick. He disarms him and delivers a message directly to Marlo through him. Omar says that Marlo is a coward because he won't face him directly. Rick then questions if Omar killed Proposition Joe or Hungry Man, and Omar laughs, implying that Marlo made up the whole story. Later on, Omar targets a Stanfield drug pickup. He shoots a dealer in the leg, and the other dealers scatter when they hear his shotgun blast. Omar destroys all the money they collected by blowing up their SUV. He then instructs the wounded dealer to tell Marlo. He destroys the cash and again challenges Marlo's manhood. Back at the homicide unit, McNulty is loving the front page coverage and attention his fabricated serial killer story in the Baltimore Sun is receiving. McNulty believes his story will certainly secure funding to revive the Marlo investigation. Bunk, of course, continues to disapprove of McNulty's unethical tactics, and he pursues the Stanfield case legitimately by reviewing vacant murder case files. He also criticizes McNulty's methods, calling himself a true murder police and refusing to rely on the fake serial killer funds. Bunk revisits the Lex murder case, avoiding witness Randy Wagstaff out of respect for ex-officer Roland Presbalewski, but plans to re-interview him regardless. Bunk later on learns of sealed indictments found in Proposition Joe's electronics shop, indicating a courthouse leak. Perlman also addresses the upcoming Clay Davis trial with state's attorney Rupert Bond, who insists on prosecuting it himself and is shocked to hear about the leaked documents to Prop Joe. Later on, we see Bunk heads out to interview Randy at a group home, which ends up being an intense meeting. Randy is, of course, distrustful of the police and refuses to cooperate, viewing their promises as deceitful. Frustrated, Bunk teams up with Kima Greggs, who links her Junebug triple homicide back to Marlo. They confront the crime lab supervisor Ron over delayed evidence analysis, learning a lab error mixed up some of the samples, hindering their cases. Bunk broadens his search on the Stanfield associates by digging into the records, and he uncovers a juvenile homicide case involving Michael Lee, which is also linked to the murder of Devar Menegalt. Interviewing Michael's mother, Raylene, Bunk extracts a lead implicating Michael, Chris, and Snoop in Devar's death, and Bunk promptly demands DNA comparisons back at the lab. This is a key scene in the series because this is where we remember that Chris was able to take out Devar with his bare hands, leaving DNA all over the body. Later on, Mayor Carcetti attends a meeting for the new Westport Docks project. He is heckled by union stevedores, including Nick Sabatka, who is removed by police. Carcetti, frustrated by the low turnout and scheduling conflicts with a police press conference on the homeless murders, vents to advisors Norman Wilson and Michael Staintorf. At the press conference, Carcetti passionately vows to protect the city's vulnerable homeless population, earning praise from Wilson. Deputy Commissioner Cedric Daniels, newly appointed, outlines police efforts, mentioned potential FBI collaboration, but is disappointed to learn from Commissioner William Rawls that resources remain limited despite Carcetti's promises. Carcetti sees a political opportunity for himself in the homeless issue as well, and he aims to critique the governor's budget cuts to homeless programs as the cause of the homeless issue his city is facing. As the viewers watching the show, however, we know this is not the reason why the funding issue is what it is. Throughout the series, especially this season, we see how the lie is used by people in different institutions to further their own careers. The focus is never on solving the issues at the ground level, but profiting from the issue. As we catch up with Detective Freeman, we see he is continuing his illegal wiretap on Marlowe. He is involving Detective Sydnor with the caveat that he can distance himself at any moment if he doesn't feel comfortable with his illegal wiretap. They monitor calls, hearing trivial conversations like lunch orders, leading Sydnor to question the wiretap's value altogether. Freeman identifies silent 30-second calls as significant, suspecting they involve photographs rather than text messages. Freeman's surveillance photos reveal Monk holding a phone, oddly confirming Freeman's theory that Marlowe is communicating with his phone through photo-based communications. To intercept these images, McNulty escalates his scheme by kidnapping a homeless man, Larry, under the pretense of helping him, intending to use his identity to justify phone taps by sending threatening photos to Templeton. Freeman questions McNulty's ethics, but McNulty, driven by the goal of catching Marlowe, takes Larry to a Richmond shelter, falsifying his identity as Donald from Cleveland. This episode does a great job at weaving together all of the conflicts we have seen so far in Season 5. We see just how interrelated the conflict between Omar and Marlowe is, McNulty making up the serial killer story to fund the investigation to put Marlowe and his crew in jail. We also see how Carcetti is positioning himself to move up the political ladder and how he is positioning himself for his next election rather than helping the people of his city. We also see how the journalists are at a point where they also have to fake stories and exaggerate on details in order to sustain a viewership. This episode reminds me of the line said by Charles Slim, quote, "It's what war is, you know? Question mark. Once you are in it, you are in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we have to fight." End quote. That line just shows how these characters are either fighting to keep a lie alive or inventing one entirely to profit out of. That was episode number 56, titled The Dickensian Aspect. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. If you made it to the end of this video, remember I am summarizing this entire series as well as other popular works of culture like literature, movies, and TV shows. I have the playlists of our summaries in the description. Also, if you found the video to be valuable, share it with a friend and click like so that YouTube can recommend it to other viewers just like you. The best way to support this channel is by becoming a Patreon supporter, buying us a coffee, or buying something from our merchandise store. You will find those links in the description. Doing this will help our channel out tremendously. I truly thank you for your support.